looking for work, we are hiring.
And there's a spot on our team for you.
We know that we'll get through this together, as long as we keep taking care of each other.
For more information, call 253-3283. That's 253-3283.
Hi, this is Bob Schertz with the Way Out Recovery SCV, reminding you that during these unprecedented times, addiction and mental health do not take a break. If you or someone you love are struggling, please give us a call at 661-296-4444. We are open and here to help you during this time. Thanks.
I promise I'll get help. It wasn't my intention. I'm sorry to myself.
At Advanced Audiology, we know how important hearing is to you, your loved ones, your work success, your safety, and your ability to stay in the game. Most people won't admit hearing loss to themselves or others. We make it easy for you. Today's digital hearing aids come in a variety of styles, including invisible. All feature-rich, providing unparalleled hearing quality, wearing comfort, and automation that simplifies your life. Don't be fooled by our imitators. There's only one Advanced Audiology with the purple sign next to AAA on Valencia Boulevard.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station weather. Nice day today with sunny skies, highs in the mid to upper 90s, overnight lows in the 60s. Tomorrow starts triple digits for 5 straight days. By Sunday, we could see temperatures reach 111. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com or find us on social media at KHTS Radio.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for taking the time to listen to my show today. I promise you that you guys are going to walk away with a lot of valuable information because I have a lot to say. And this is due to 15 years of experience of handling all sorts of cases against insurance company to be able to get the maximum amount of money for the damages that is sustained by people. I hope everyone is doing good, and I know for those of you that have suffered from the recent fires in basically Santa Clarita, hopefully you guys are coping with it as good as you can. I know that most of you are probably had to move and maybe spending time in hotels or the kind of properties that, you know, insurance is actually allowing you guys to stay in. And I'm here to help, and I'm going to do my best to be able to make everything go as smooth as possible. Well, having said that, I like to actually start the show by telling you guys that why people need representation when they deal with insurance company, when they get damages and they want to be able to get money for their damages. Representation is one of the most important thing, and here's the reason. Number one, insurance companies are corporation. So even that, when you guys buy that policy and you become their client, their first duty is to their own shareholders. So they don't have any obligation to come to your house and look for your damages and look for the extent of your damage. And that is a problem. It's actually a huge problem. So why would it be like that? Because there was even a case in Supreme Court that some of the attorneys and some of the people were complaining that we are clients of insurance company. Adjuster came to my house and he wrote the estimate for $8,000 or $5,000 and told me that's, you know, the extent of my damages. Then later, when I actually got some outside help, I found out I have damages in amount of $50,000, $70,000, you know, over $100,000 worth of damage. But these guys, they came over there and they only wrote the estimate for me for like $5,000 or $6,000. And basically the Supreme Court's answer was that, yeah, they are a corporation. Their first duty is to their shareholders. So therefore, they have no obligation whatsoever to look, you know, and for your benefit or actually make sure that you are in good hands, as some of the commercial actually shows. That's one of them. The other thing is, just imagine right now, okay, we have a lot of fire is going on, and there's a lot of houses that are burned, and insurance companies are kind of overwhelmed. So what they do, they use a lot of adjusters, and a lot of these adjusters are actually coming out of state. I know that because last year when we had the Northridge fire and I was representing people, I was keep running to adjusters from insurance company that they were from outside, you know, about a good percentage of them were like from Texas. There was from Kansas, Louisiana, and all the beautiful states that we have all over America. These adjusters were here, and here is one of the problems when outside adjusters come in. Prices of the houses and also the kind of damages you sustain out here in California, it's much different. And I give you a very simple example. Just imagine you're living someplace, in Woodland Hills, in San Fernando Valley, or maybe even Encino, and you live in a 4,000 square foot house. That house is at least worth about like $1.5 million, maybe $2 million. But you can have the same house in a really good neighborhood in Dallas or Kansas City, Missouri, and it would cost you about $400,000 to $450,000. So all of a sudden, you got an adjuster that is coming to this estate with the mindset when he's looking at your house, he keeps seeing a $450,000 house instead of actually seeing a property that is worth about $2 million. That right there kind of like spells out when they go to do the estimates where their their mind is at. Another problem is a lot of these adjusters are also overworked too. So when I was talking to some of them, they were actually showing me a schedule that one guy was supposed to see at least about 40 houses that burned down in a period of 1 week. He was working about 12 to 16 hours a day. And while he was talking to me and we were at the property, I saw him at least take about 5 cups of coffee just in front of me in that first 10 minutes. So then imagine this guy is coming to your house and now he's gonna have to spend about 2 hours to look for the damages. So you think that he's gonna miss a few here or maybe some over there? And here's another example. I had a case that the adjuster was actually from Kansas, and he wrote the estimates, and the estimate really looked low. Then I showed that to the people that I employ, because I work with public adjusters and also estimators that they have already worked for insurance company for many years. Those are the only kind of people I use for my office to come and estimate your damages, because I want to make sure we have a real credibility. So in case if anyone from insurance comes and say, well, look, your estimate looks a little bit over the price, or why are you guys there is $100,000 discrepancy between what we wrote down and what you're writing down, then the simple answer from me would be, well, for God's sake, man, I'm using people that you use. As a matter of fact, he just wrote the estimate for you guys about a month ago. How come that estimate was okay, but now that he's doing an estimate for us, all of a sudden you're questioning it? That's really important, because eventually, someday, if some of the cases go to court too, the attorney that is going to represent the insurance company is not going to be able to put anything on our adjusters, because most of them, they have already worked for them. So anyway, basically, yeah, these are all the reasons that you guys absolutely need representation, because of the fact that you're not going to get your maximum recovery by just putting the case in insurance hand and let them, do whatever they want to do. And the results are going to be like unbelievable. And I give you some example. I had, like, for example, a case almost about 2 years ago, Mr. Jafari. And this guy came to me and he said that, I had water damage in my house and they gave me $8,000. By the time we checked his house and, the adjusters, they went up and down. They find out the water has actually gone down to second floor. He went to some bathrooms, and, their living room was also damaged. So that $8,000 turned into a $168,000 case by the time we were done. And this is why you really need someone like us to watch out for your benefit and always make sure that, you're in good hands.
And Kuros, first of all, hello, my name's Shane, joining you in the studio, helping keep things going for the listener out there. Kuros, you've been talking for a little bit, and I feel like I've heard your name so little. You're talking about getting the appropriate representation, but the appropriate representation by you, Kuros Lahudi, of course, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, just making sure we get your name out there a little bit.
No, definitely.
You dove right into the information, which is so helpful and so awesome, but we just got to make sure that people are remembering your name and the phone number to call if they want this awesome representation.
Absolutely, and that phone number is 661-434-0248. You can just reach me on that phone at any time. Usually, we answer phones because the nature of business, we're dealing with disasters, and therefore our office hours are much more extended. You can call us at any time, even 10 p.m., 11 p.m., that's not a problem. And, if we're not on the phone to answer you right away, just leave a message, leave your name, and believe me that we will get back to you, if not the same day, definitely by the next day. So, as we were saying, I want to bring your attention to one of the cases that I actually just settled about a couple of months ago, and there is still a little bit left on the case to do. This case actually happened to be on YouTube. So for most of you, if you go and put some catchphrases such as Huntington Beach, Old Town, Edison, explosion, a combination of these words will actually bring a video on YouTube, and then you can see that my client has been interviewed by CBS. And this is about, this fellow that actually owns the restaurants over there. And Southern California Edison, the big electric company, one of their boxes literally blew up. And this guy was almost about like 8 foot from the box, and unfortunately he was thrown away and he sustained really, really bad burn on his body. Now, I don't need to say any more about this because when you go and watch the video, you're gonna learn everything about what happened to him and why, the fault was with Edison. The CBS people, they're actually making a great, they give you great details on this case. But here's the point that I want to get from this case. When Bernie went and talked to the insurance people and the adjuster came over there and they saw the extent of his damages to his restaurant and also to the property that was based over there, they wrote him a check for $100,000. And Bernie was, semi-happy because, what he could see is that, he has damages to his walls. Now, for his personal damages that, he sustained on his body, he actually had other attorneys and they're dealing with Edison. But when it comes to the property damage and he's dealing with his own insurance company, they wrote him a $100,000 check. And, Bernie could see some damages to his walls. He could see some damages to his floor. And basically, he was thinking about, whether he did get the right amount of money or not. And it happened to be that one of my friends actually used to go over there a lot because he was servicing the ATM machines over there. And he threw in a word to Bernie that, maybe you want to give this guy a call and see, if there is something he can do for you. And I got a call. They hired me. And I started my dialogue with the insurance company, and I can say, because I have proof, so far I got him another $480,000 on top of the $100,000 that he received. So in all due honesty, Bernie was short paid and underpaid by $480,000. That first $100,000 that they gave him, that was it. So I came in, and sure, I charged some fees, but still, $480,000 is a lot of money. And here is some other problem with this case. Because Edison is the culprit, and it was their electrical box that blew up, after the insurance company pays Bernie, they have a right by law to go after Edison and sue them and get every single penny that they have paid Bernie back. This process is called subrogation. And the moral of this story is we have an insurance company that could have paid Bernie from the first day his entire $580,000. Then they can go after Edison and they can get every single penny back. And still, they just gave him $100,000, and they did not look for the rest of the damages, and they stayed quiet about whatever else that, they were able to see over there. Or maybe their adjuster was even negligent. Maybe he was overworked. But at the end of the day, even though the insurance company could get every single penny back, that's the way they dealt with this person. Now, you got to understand, this guy burned. He's in a hospital. CBS is actually interviewing him. His old restaurant and also the grocery shop is out of business for time being because of what happened to him. and this insurance company is still shortchanging him or underestimating his estimate. Now just imagine if they did this to him under these circumstances, where they could get their money back too. If that's the way they treat him, how would they treat you when you're probably standing on your feet, and even though your house is burned, but you yourself, thank God, maybe you're in perfect health, you're in a hotel. So how would they handle your case? Would you, if they did this to Bernie, wouldn't they do the same thing to you, or maybe even worse? Yes, absolutely. This is why you need me. Now, some of you may think and say, well, okay, look, I still know some stuff. I got a contractor. My contractor has already told me, what is the extent of my damages. So why would I want to bring an attorney in, especially even on a contingency basis, and he's going to get a big chunk of the money that actually, I should be able to get? Well, I answered that really easily. First of all, number one, you need legal muscle to be able to get your maximum recovery. You are not going to get everything that, you have coming to you by just going against the insurance company alone. And number two, I've also, basically, the real reason I'm here is I really want to help people. And I'm not greedy, and I'm not here to actually just look for my own benefit, because as your attorney, your best interest is actually what I gotta represent. Therefore, I'm handling all these fire cases at 15%, which is unbelievable and it's unheard of, because usually when attorneys, they work on contingency basis. Even, basically you can go to like traffic accidents or even residential accidents. They come in at 33%. Some of them may cut you some break and, handle the case for 25%. And let me say something else on top of this. There are other kind of licensed individuals that also help people against the insurance company and their public adjusters. And they're licensed by the state of California to be able to represent you against the insurance company and get money for you. Right now, the going rate among the adjusters is anything from 15% to 20%. So if you're talking about a person that is not an attorney, he does not have any legal muscle, he cannot put fear in insurance company that I can sue you, and they're charging about 15 to 20%. But guess what? I'll come in as an attorney. I'm charging you 15%, but I also have public adjusters and estimators that worked for insurance company in my employment. They're the one who are actually writing the estimate, and I'm doing all these things for 15%. I'm giving you a public adjuster that would work on his own and charge you about 15 to 20%, and I'm also giving you attorney service, but we are still charging you 15%. So that is because I understand when you get the money, you still have to fix your house. Everything that you probably have in your house, they're probably burnt or half burnt. So with that, I'm going to go back to Shane so he can give you my phone number, and then we take the rest of the show.
Yeah, let's do it, Kuros. So why choose Kuros Law Offices? Why would you want to? Well, how about this? Listen to what I have to say. Do you enjoy added stress? Recovering a fraction of your benefit, handling a complicated and unfamiliar process, fighting a foe with unlimited resources and experts, constant undue delays in your claim administration? Well, you know what? You can stop listening because you don't have to worry about that with Kuros Lahudi and his law offices. Instead, you can expect to avoid the stress of handling a complicated and overwhelming process. You can expect a fast and timely recovery of all possible benefits of your legal entitlement. You can expect peace of mind. You can expect to avoid fighting alone against an organization with unlimited resources and experts. And you can expect a friend, somebody who's there to help you. You can get all of this by calling the law offices of Kuros Lahudi at 818-300-5777. That's 818-300-5777.
And also to make it easier for you guys, we have a local number, 661-434-0248. That's 661-434-0248. Now, getting back to the nitty-gritty and also more details.
You know, before we do, Kuros, we're going to take a commercial break, and then we'll get right back to the listeners. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Let's do it. You're listening to KHTS 98.1 FM, AM 1220. This is the Maximum Insurance Recovery Hour with attorney Kuros Lahudi. We'll be right back.
We're passionate about keeping our guys working and staying safe.
Corey Nathan and Brandon Cruz, owners of C-Spot Go, opened their power washing, window cleaning business in Santa Clarita so they could call it home for business and families.
We care about safety and quality. We're offering a one-time special, $500 for your whole house, including exterior window cleaning for any house under 2,800 square feet, and for larger homes, a quote with a correspondingly deep discount.
For details, visit cspot-go.com.
Hi, Kirk Stinson here with Plumbing by Kirk, your hometown plumber. With another tip, close your sink drain and remove your expensive jewelry when entering the shower to avoid costly plumbing expenses. But if it does happen, shut off the water immediately and call Plumbing by Kirk. We invite you to visit our website for free plumbing advice at plumbingbykirk.com or give us a call, 263-6519. That's 263-6519.
My dad is the best plumber ever. Call Plumbing by Kirk.
If you're in danger of losing your home to foreclosure, you need an expert. Hi, I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty. I've helped hundreds of Santa Clarita residents save their homes completely for free. I've got just over 20 years experience and a loan modification success rate of over 80%. I can negotiate better terms with your bank and I can save your home from foreclosure. And again, we do this completely for free. So if you're in any danger, please call me today at 661-714-1400. That number again is 661-714-1400. I'm Rich Sherman with Alta Realty, and I'll be happy to help you save your home for free.
Aloha, friends. Go check out Honu Coffee, home of the best cold brew coffee. What makes their coffee special is how their organic coffee beans are infused with nitrogen to create a smooth and delicious cup of coffee. You'll also find traditional bold coffees and island-inspired signature drinks. They're the perfect place to catch up with friends or just relax with your favorite cup of joe. Honu Coffee on Lyons and Walnut in Newhall. Stop by and say aloha.
And now for your convenience, a second Honu location at 23502 Lyons Avenue between Peachland and Apple.
At iLead Agua Dulce, we believe the most important thing a child can learn in school is who they are. Life's real tests are never standardized, which is why we've developed an individual-based curriculum that values exploration, cooperation, and creativity. As our learners grow, so do we. Our tuition-free charter school is currently enrolling grades TK through 7th and adding 8th grade in 2020. Your young learner will be immersed in a unique environment where possibility and self-discovery are at the core of every experience. The Agua Dulce campus features beautiful indoor and outdoor spaces for hands-on inspiration, including a robotics lab, a garden bed, a greenhouse, and a technology-based exploratorium. iLead Agua Dulce is conveniently located on the east side of the Santa Clarita Valley, just off the 14 freeway. Check out our homeschool options too. To schedule a campus tour or learn more about our programs, visit iLeadAguaDulce.org. We're enrolling now. iLead Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Recovery, who you are, what you guys do for the community, and how you help.
Absolutely. Well, this is what I've always been saying, and I learned right away. If I'm going against the insurance company and I want to be able to get the maximum amount of money for my damages, I need to address this at 3 different levels. One of them is that you really need to know the extent of your damages. And this area is really complex. This is not something that people can handle on themselves, or even, maybe with the help of a casual contractor or anything like that. Let me tell you about a program that is called Xactimate, and also there is another one that is called SimSol. If you notice, when insurance adjusters, they generally come to your house and they want to estimate the kind of damages that you have. Basically, they use this computerized program that you got to subscribe to, and you pay some amount of money on a yearly basis. And what you do, first you focus on all the damages, and you get take your measurements, and basically, the number of the rooms and walls and everything else. Then when you plug everything into this program actually comes up with a standardized amount of money that your damages are, and it's really kind of accurate. So when I was actually working on some of the cases, and basically the clients, they had, their contractor just write in a 2-page estimate as to what their damages was. We also we constantly ran into problem where insurance was coming back and asking about details that the contractor did not have in his estimate. So basically, this is one of the things that we use in our office too. This is not just, limited to the insurance company. The adjusters and the estimators that I use, they all subscribe to this program. So basically, when they come and they actually estimate your damages, we estimate even down to how many nail you would be using for this portion of your wall that is damaged. Now that's really important because that goes to the first level I was talking about, that when you go against the insurance company, you really need to know your damages and you need to know them in detail, and you gotta be presented to them in a very, presentable way or a standard way that, they're used to. Which brings us to the next level, that the damage representation. Once you know all your damages, then not only you need to give it to them in a form of the estimate that is generally used as a standard for throughout this, basically for all the cases that happens, but you also need for the same adjuster or the estimator to be able to go toe-to-toe with them and be able to answer all their questions. So that's another thing that we do, and it's really important. We don't just send the estimate over the email and then tell them to pay us money. No, we actually end up visiting with the adjuster. If they dispute it, we end up visiting them at the place where the damage happens, and then they have their estimate and we have ours, and then you keep going back and forth, and there's going to be a lot of conversation as to from our side and their side. And then basically we're going to come out, with some kind of compromise that, okay, well, this is the way it should go. And that would be the second level. But then the third level, which is really the most important level, is if you already know your damages and you have presented to the insurance company in a good way, now you got to show them that you have the muscle to collect from them, because they're still going to resist you. They're still going to see, okay, who are we dealing with? If they're dealing with you alone, generally, they're like, okay, thank you for turning the estimate in, but we already wrote you a check, on your estimate, and if you're not happy with it, go get representation, or, let us know if something has changed. Then, when you move in with a public adjuster, and most of these public adjusters, they're able people, and they're hard workers. However, they still are not going to be able to put any fear in the insurance companies, eyes, because they're still going to say, well, okay, it's a public adjuster, fine, he told us some stuff, and they might write you another check, for some more money based on, the facts that the adjuster is able to bring to their face. However, they're not going to give you the maximum recovery that you need, because for that, you're going to need for an attorney to show them that, look, if you don't pay us, I can sue you. And at that point, the insurance company is going to have to hire attorneys, or they have in-house attorneys, then they're going to have to come, to the court. And basically, don't forget, in a court, we're always going to be dealing with juries, and juries are not very sympathetic to insurance company. So basically, when you get an attorney like me, and they know that if they don't deal with us and they don't give us what they're supposed to, we can always sue them, and they're not going to have a great chance, being sued, because then there's that jury, and the juries are, people of your own peers.
Karous, that's awesome. That type of representation you can get from the law offices of Karous Lahudi. You can call them 818-300-5777, or you can reach out by email too. You can send an email to claims, CLAIMS, at lahoodilaw.com, and that is spelled LAHOOTI law.com. Again, you can send an email to claims at lahoodilaw.com, or call 818-300-5777.
Oh, Shane, if you can also tell them how they can actually see this show on YouTube, so that way when they see they can see the banner, and it might be easier for them to see the website and everything else.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's all sorts of ways to access content at KHTS. Facebook Live is one of our biggest ways to do it. You can access our content right on our Facebook at KHTS Radio. You can do so on the air while you're driving around 98.1 FM or AM 1220. We have a KHTS Radio YouTube page where all of our Facebook Live videos go, so you can get more information there. We have a KHTS app that you can download on both Android and the Apple App Store. Just search KHTS Radio for it. It'll come right up. So there are all sorts of ways where you can catch this show live on Wednesdays, or as Kuros was just saying, if you want to see the video format, check out Facebook Live or YouTube, search KHTS Radio, and you'll see that big poster right behind Kuros that he's talking about. It's got the website, MaximumInsuranceRecovery.com right behind them, and the phone numbers you can call, and the local one, which I missed, which is 661-434-0248. Again, 661-434-0248.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. And getting back to what we were talking about, here is a common mistake that many people that deal with insurance company, they make. Everyone is under impression that when I get damages or I, have some kind of disaster that happens to me, the insurance is here to compensate me. That is actually not correct. See, the policy that you buy from insurance company, the fundamental part of the policy is that the insurance, when you have damages and you have problems, they have to put you back in a place that you were before the disaster happens. So in another word, look, so you have a house, and unfortunately it burns down. The insurance owes you more than just paying for your house. They have to put you back in a situation that you were before. This allows me as an attorney and someone who knows how to deal with these people and have this experience to be able to use this to get the kind of money that is really the maximum money you can get. And I give you some example. Let's say you just happen to have a house and you have some marble floor, okay? And then you get sewer backup, which is bacteria water, and it's really something that is not good. And when it goes on your marble, generally, marble are the kind of stone that take the water in. So now you got sewer water that actually has seeped in through your marbles, and now you got bacteria under the marble. So basically, look, if the insurance company was in a business of just giving you money for your damages, they can come and say, well, okay, we pay for all the cleanup, we pay for someone to come and regrout your marble, and that might be around $10,000 or $11,000. But you're entitled to much more than that. You're entitled to be put back in a place that you were before. That means even under your marble, it should be bacteria-free, which means now they have to take all these marbles out and throw them away and then give you money for the entire place that you have your marble in. Now, if this marble happens to go to your living room, and it also, some of them goes to the hall, because of the matching issue, you should get the kind of money that would cover all your damages for the total replacement of the marble. And see, I'm able to get that kind of money because of the fact that I know what the policy that they're selling to you, it's supposed to do for you. You need to be put back in a place that you were before. Now look how this might come out, when you have a burnt house. Okay, so now you got a burnt house. Let's say you had 4 bedrooms, and then you have your family living with you. You might even have a guest or something that, that is staying actually with you. So let's say you're a family of 5 and your house burned down. Now, all of a sudden, they put you in a hotel. They give you a room, or they give you 2 rooms, and there's got to be 2 or 3 person in one room and 2 more person in another room. You're in a hotel room. You don't have your living room. You don't have your bathrooms. You don't have your TVs. You still have a TV in a hotel, but you may not subscribe to all the programs that you had. Well, guess what? Under the policy, you gotta be put back in the same situation you were before. So in a good case scenario, if you have someone fighting for you, he should be able to have a similar looking house that you have and you had, and you should be able to move into that with the same kind of furniture. You should be able to still, have a full use of a kitchen, because that's the comfort that you had before. You're not supposed to be in a small hotel room. If they're going to put you in a hotel room, then at least they have to give you some kind of hotel room that is comparable to the housing, that is just as nice as the house that you're in.
It sounds crazy, but what you're saying is that you should actually get back what you had before, right? It's a simple concept, but
exactly,
that's exactly what you're fighting for.
That's what it is. Going back to the marble case, generally you have a little bit of damage. So if you if you go really search, or someone goes and really search for you, they should be able to find some kind of marble that is really kind of like, similar in color to what you had before. So if you have about 100 square foot of marble that is damaged, then insurance generally tries to give you money for 100 square foot and tell you, okay, we also know a shop that has almost the same color. It's just like, the one you had before. But no, that's not true. Because of the matching situation, the entire marbles have to be changed, because there is no way that you can go and find the exact same marble that you had maybe 5 years ago with the same kind of stone ridges that are in there that you had before. That's why now you're entitled to $100,000 for your entire marble floor, whereas before you were entitled to $10,000 just to clean up your marble and maybe replace 100 square foot. And then after that, many eyes may not be able to see this, but if most people, if they pay attention, they can see that now you got, double color marble. And that's the thing. See, when you're sold that policy, you're supposed to be put back in the same place before. You're supposed to get comfort. You're supposed not to have a stress. You're not supposed to, be under such a stress that they're not paying your money and they're taking their sweet time. This is why you need someone like me to be able to take that stress away from you and put it on me, and then get recompensated for everything that, you need to get your compensation for.
And you can do that by call. We're going to say it a lot. You're going to hear this phone number a lot. You're going to hear the website a lot, but you're going to get to know Kouros Lahudi and his law offices a lot better. And you can get to know them directly right now if you want. Give them a call by calling 661-434-0248. That's 661-434-0248. Or you can visit their website, www.maxinsurancerecovery.com.
Okay, well, just one last thing before we go to commercial. Again, remember that old Germantown, and this guy was burned, and basically that's the way they treated him? Let me give you another example. I have a case right now with Mr. Mendoza, and he happened to be a firefighter. And, right now, firefighters are fighting with us. I mean, fighting for us. I'm sorry. I'm totally sorry about that one. Firefighters are fighting for us, and they're putting the fire out, and a lot of them are risking their life. It's unfortunate that there is going to be some deaths. That's what they do. They go out there and they want to save people, and they risk their life. So Mr. Mendoza had a problem with the water damage, and they came to his house, and basically, they were talking about back and forth that, about how much to give him and what kind of money should, recompensate his insurance. So I actually happened to come in after they gave him a little bit of money at first. So then after that, I got him the, maximum recovery that we could do for him, but that's not the point here. Here's the problem. After this was done and we got, money for all his damages, and the adjuster was actually really sympathetic, and he was like, oh, I want to take care of this guy. He's a firefighter, man. He's fighting for us every day. And basically they wanted to, make it as easy as they could. And I got to be honest, I'm not here to just use every point to, prove my own point. Things did go smoothly, and the checks came in a lot faster than they would for other cases. So the guy actually really did help us, the insurance adjuster, and they took care of these firefighters. But here's something that they missed, and then they were fighting on us. His house happened to have asbestos problem, and this point was totally missed. Now, when we come back from the for the commercial, basically I'll tell you about the rest of the story and how this asbestos totally changed the entire thing.
You've been listening to the Maximum Insurance Recovery Hour on KHTS. Today is the first one, but we're going to be bringing you a lot more awesome content. Wednesdays, right here, live from downtown Newhall. You're listening to KHTS 98.1 FM, AM 1220. We will be back in just a minute.
Comfort Keepers provides your loved one with loving in-home care.
Miles McNamara, certified senior advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in-home care.
Our caregivers can help you in your own home, enhancing independence, creating safety and comfort. Our Comfort Keepers provide companionship, meal preparation, medication reminders, assistance with personal care, and even transportation to doctor's appointments. If someone you love can use a helping hand at home, visit comfortkeepers.com.
Or call 287-4200.
No contract pest control. Did you hear that? Yes, Unipest has no contract, low impact, affordable, and environmentally and family-friendly pest control options with orange oil or other family-friendly products. Whether it's ants, spiders, gophers, termites, or bed bugs, Unipest Termite and Pest Control has an effective, eco-friendly option for you. Call Unipest today for a free orange oil inspection at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
This is Bradley from Santa Clarita Grocery, the all-volunteer grocery program serving children, families, and individuals experiencing food insecurities. Since January 2020, Santa Clarita Grocery has distributed 83 tons of fresh groceries to 4,465 families in the SCV. Santa Clarita Grocery is a drive-up, drive-through service with physical distancing in place to continue serving our community. If you are in need or looking for a charity to do the most good for our community, please consider partnering with us by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery, one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. A full 99 cents out of every dollar goes directly back to the community. Santa Clarita Grocery operates on a 1% overhead and is sustained through private donations. Santa Clarita Grocery is at 21176 Center Point Parkway in the Oasis Furniture parking lot. Please visit our website, santaclaritagrocery.org, or our Facebook at Santa Clarita Grocery to make a difference in our awesome town community. 661-425-7575. Be our guest and experience the difference.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS, or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or mypillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
KHTS, your hometown station.
Good afternoon. You're listening to the Maximum Insurance Recovery Hour on KHTS Radio, 98.1 FM, AM 1220. This is the start of something new, and it's going to be an incredible show. Attorney Kuros Lahudi is going to be coming to you live every Wednesday, 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. to talk to you about, well, insurance recovery and getting the most for you. He fights for you. He has a lot of experience doing this, and we know how many fires the Southern California area experiences. So, Kuros, come on back. Tell the people what they're missing out.
Yeah, please. Before we go to commercial break, we were talking about Mr. Mendoza. So he was a firefighter, and they gave him, a good amount of money, and they did it fast. Everything was going smooth. But they missed the point that, he had asbestos in his house, because generally houses that are built before 1978, and also for commercial residents, before 1980, most of them, about 99 or 98%, they have asbestos in there, unfortunately. So when they missed that was an extra $30,000 or $32,000 that they would have to pay him so he could clean his house from asbestos. So we got that money too, and that was a point that I was able to, pinpoint. And it's something that, without me or without someone who knows about these things, they would have missed. But here's the irony of this. After that, I sent insurance company $70,000 worth of estimate for all the clothing and all the personal property that Mr. Mendoza actually had in his house. And the adjuster and called me and said, hey, the water never reached any personal property. And these guys, we talked to them for a month before you even actually come on the case, and none of them ever mentioned anything about personal property. And I told him, yeah, absolutely, none of them did, because nobody knew about asbestos, and I'm not asking you for money for water damage to all this personal property. Do you know that we have asbestos everywhere? And here's a test result. As a matter of fact, the guy that, tests the stuff for me, his name is Shane Blanchard, very nice guy. And, we already had him test the clothing and the couches and beds. And the guy's like, oh, okay, all right. So now we have another $70,000 check is actually on the way. So look, $100,000 was actually falling between the cracks, even for a firefighter, that this adjuster wanted to help out. This is why you need representation, and you need people that they really know what they're doing. And believe me, the dividends is going to be, speak for itself. And the fees, also, just so you know, we only charge fee of 15%. We do not charge any cost on this kind of cases, because usually when attorneys, they do contingency, they might even need other experts or individuals that they come and, they do estimates, or you might need an engineer in case if your foundation is hurt. But in this kind of cases with the burn, generally, there's not going to be any cost involved either. So 15% is actually what we're going to charge you. And just one last thing. It doesn't matter what what part of the process you're in. Whether you haven't hired anybody and you want to hire us right now, or whether, you're already talking to insurance and they even have paid you some money and you're already in a hotel, we can take a case from anywhere and be able to do the maximum recovery for you. As a matter of fact, for some of you that they already talking to insurance company yourself, or you have some family member do it, or some contractor, that would be a good test to bring me in and see how much more I can actually show you that you were missing. So just give me a call if you like. You don't even have to hire us if you need more information. I'd be more than happy that if you give me a call and you want some advice, to give that to you free of charge without, any expectation of representation or anything like that. I'm here to help, and let me help you in any way that I can.
And you mentioned that 15% mark, Kuros. That's for either a commercial or residential claim?
Absolutely.
Just 15%?
Absolutely.
You're right. That's certainly very helpful. So, Kuros, we appreciate you joining the KHTS family. This is going to be something that you do weekly live right here on Wednesdays.
Right, and tell them about the rerun too, so that way in case.
You beat me to the punch. I was just about to say, no worries.
You're on the same page, me and you.
Yeah, that's right. So if you missed this, if you're listening live, you want to share it, or don't worry, we've got you covered, because it's going to be on KHTS Radio on our Facebook page. It's going to be on our YouTube page at KHTS Radio. We're going to have a podcast write-up posted and ready for you to listen later that you can share. But also, this show itself is going to re-air. Keep your ears and eyes open for it. We'll have that re-aired for you, so that way you can get this information back. So again, keep your eyes and ears open. KHTS Radio on Facebook and YouTube. And of course, 98.1 FM, AM 1220 right here.
Oh, also one last thing. Both of these numbers and the one that he threw earlier, they're actually my direct cell phone. When you call, you get me right away, so that way I can start addressing your problems as soon as possible. You're not going to get any in between, and then I return your call the next day or anything like that. Thank you.
And those phone numbers, just one more time to make sure you got them, for right here in Santa Clarita, 661-434-0248. That's 661-434-0248. You can visit their website, www.maxinsurancerecovery.com. And again, we're going to be coming to you weekly on Wednesdays. So again, Kuros, welcome to the family. We're happy to have you here, and you're an incredible resource. So
thank you so much.
Of course, until next week, you've been listening to KHTS 98.1 FM, AM 1220. Aaron is coming up in just a few minutes to keep you company, get you your traffic and everything you need to get home. Again, thank you for listening to KHTS Radio, 98.1 FM, AM 1220. We will talk to you next